fuck, that was intense.
If you don't get there in time, we will lose 1,600 men.
So 1917 is a new World War I film that was directed by Sam Mendes that follows two soldiers that are in the middle of World War I in the year 1917 as they are sent into enemy territory to deliver an urgent message and a race against time to stop the deaths of 1,600 men, one of the soldiers' brothers included in that 1,600 men. Alrighty guys, so let's get into 1917. 1917 was a movie that I was looking forward to for a couple of reasons. One of them being Sam Mendes, because I love his work on Skyfall. The other being Roger Deakins. I mean, Roger Deakins, one of the greatest cinematographers ever. The other being was that this film was presented as a one-shot take movie, which, of course, would always get me going. But oh my god, guys. This movie, 1917, this movie was a fucking experience. I mean, wow. Getting right into the acting department, the performances across the board were excellent. Dean Chapman and George McKay, the two that played the soldiers, I thought they were really good, if not great, in this movie. And even the bigger named actors in this movie were great, like Colin Firth and Benedict Cumberbatch. And while I'll definitely say that their screen time is very limited, they still have a big impact on what's going on during the movie. The best way I can describe 1917 is like this. It's a very basic story, yet it's in a grand movie's body. Because while the story is about these two men who are trying to go across enemy lines to deliver a very urgent message, everything that happens in this movie is very grand. Another thing that I loved about 1917 was that from the very first moment that it starts, I mean from the very second that it starts, the final shot of this movie is tense. And when I mean this movie is tense, I mean, oh my god, this movie will have your heart pounding from the moment that it starts. The more that this movie goes along, the more tension that builds, and this happens in even the more quieter moments. And honest to god, guys, I was scared shitless the entire time, because when I was watching these guys just trying to get to where they're trying to go to, I was looking at the far distances just to see if there's any enemy troops, because when a gunshot does go off, you're just like, fuck! The tension is so well done throughout this entire film that it's really just Hitchcockian-like. And this is all due to not only outstanding direction from Sam Mendes, who, by the way, he should win the Oscar, not just be nominated, he should win the damn Oscar. But also due to breathtaking cinematography from Roger Deakins, who outdoes himself completely. And I thought that Blade Runner 2049 was his best looking film. No, wait till you see 1917, because there are so many shots throughout this film. I mean, this movie is presented as a one-shot take, but there are just so many images in this film in which you'll just think, how did they pull this off? Just from how Mendes and Deakins move the camera seamlessly from a close-up to a wide to a medium to a breathtaking master shot, seriously, I don't know how they pulled this off, but good god, this movie not only looks amazing, but it is just immersive as all hell. For example, there's a scene that takes place during the nighttime. When you see how the camera moves and how all the choreography goes along, I can only imagine the nightmare that it was to get everything planned and blocked out, to get everything in sync at just the right time, because when you see how this movie plays along, it's an incredible feat, and I don't know how they pulled any of this off. And the camera work is so immersive that the camera feels like a third character, meaning you, that is trying to get across enemy territory. Like Sam Mendes with directing, if Roger Deakins does not only get nominated, but if he does not win the Oscar for cinematography, that's gonna be a crime, because like I mentioned before, this movie is a feat to pull off. I was actually sitting next to a correspondent from Flick Direct, and about 5 to 10 minutes into this film, they noticed that there was not a cut that happened at all, and they said to me, wait a minute, is this all in one shot? And I said to them, yep, and they said back, that is insane. Speaking of the editing, or I should really call it the invisible editing of this film, because since that 1917 is presented as a one-shot take film, what they did in this film, and seriously still, I don't know how they pulled this off in the editing phase. What they'll do is that after a certain amount of minutes, they'll use either an elaborate camera move or they'll use CGI to look like it was essentially shot in one take. But I'm telling you guys right now, other than two small parts into which you'll see a camera going over a certain part in which you could probably tell that there was a cut that happened there, I could not tell you guys, honest to God, where they could have cut the camera. Honest to God, guys, unless if you're paying really close attention, I could not tell another part that had an invisible cut. Seriously, whoever edited this movie, I believe it was Lee Smith, seriously, you did a phenomenal job. Another thing that I loved about 1917 as well was the sound design. The best way I can describe the sound design in 1917 is that it is explosive. And when I mean explosive sound design, I don't mean that there's a bunch of gunfire to this movie. Now, don't get me wrong, there are gunfights in this movie, but I feel like they're well warranted, and when they do happen, once again, tension filled as all hell. But when you hear certain sound effects in this movie, you feel like you are there. There is a particular sound in the first act of this film. It scared the fuck out of me. Also, I gotta give huge praises to the score by Thomas Newman. Thomas Newman's score to this film not only adds even more tension like there was enough already, but it also adds so much emotion to this movie as well. Also, 1917 has a very impactful ending, and I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I was in tears. As far as my issues with 1917 go, I only really have one issue, but it's just a very minute nitpick, and that's that it takes just a couple of minutes to get going, but that's it. Overall, guys, I absolutely loved 1917. If I could combine a couple of movies together to describe 1917, I would use three movies. Take Dunkirk, combine that with Saving Private Ryan, and also The Revenant, and that is 1917 in a nutshell. All in all, not only did I absolutely love 1917, but it's also one of my favorite films of the year, so I'm going to give 1917 a 5 out of 5 stars. I know this movie opens limited on Christmas and it opens wide in January, but if this movie does happen to release in a theater near you on Christmas, please guys, go to this movie on the biggest screen with the best speakers possible. Alright guys, so comment out and let me know below. What is your favorite war film of all time? Let me know below. If you guys want to follow me on social media, I'm on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Twitch. I'm also on Snapchat and Stardust. So if y'all want to follow me on all those social media platforms, all the links in the usernames are in the description below. I hope you guys enjoyed my review of 1917. If so, please hit that like button, share, and subscribe to see more reviews just like this one. Also, don't forget to hit that notification bell for whenever a new video of mine goes live. If y'all want to see any of my previous 2 reviews, please click either right here or there. And of course, until my next review, I will see you guys next time.